And may we survive Christmas, enjoy Christmas, get into the new year, Atiku Okowa as the next president and vice president of take a look at the 5-point agenda and sell it to everybody. Atiku.
If there's any question, one more question. It's okay. No, it's okay. Leave us now.
Many of them were 10 years old, about 10 years old by that time, or a little over that, which means that they did not really know the worth and the work of the Obasanjo Atiku administration. That administration was one of a kind. First, it signaled Nigerian exit from a very long military regime. I'm sure many of you know it was military. And after the work of so many pro-democracy groups, democracy finally birthed. Atiku, as the vice president, which is a constitutional role, was the chairman of the National Reform Committee, National Economic Council, which was like the council that spearheaded all the reforms that took place between 1999 and 2007 that reshaped Nigeria. Obasanjo, as president, took upon himself a job to resell Nigeria to the international community, because Nigeria by that time has been tagged a pariah nation. So to take Nigeria back from that status and relaunch Nigeria into the league of democratic nations, Obasanjo undertook what was like a massive travel plan around the world. He visited so many countries and left the home front for a dependable vice president. You will note that the social media we are using right now, which is also being used to abuse our principal, was launched by our principal. So Atiku Abubakar launched the social media. He powered it with the GSM. Many of us know that GSM was not a possibility of Nigeria because so many people were using the 93090 to make money, so they don't want to hear GSM. But they took the bull by the horn, gathered the political will, and launched GSM. I'm sure you know what GSM and the social media have done to our country. Even the banking reform. Before 1999, if you want to travel overseas, you will go and look for one man check called Thomas Cook. When you buy it, when you go to London, you go and sell it, they give you money. There was nothing like credit card. I'm telling people who were not men by that time that this is what we're passing through. Atiku, the Reform Council, the Economic Council launched the debit card and the credit card and introduced the Forex. So all these dollars you see people packing up and down, it was Atiku that introduced the Forex market. If not, by that time, when you see $1, you can take it around, you can pass 100 persons that have not seen a dollar before. So many, they set up institutions, EFCC for fight corruption, ICPC to fight corruption, FIU in the police to fight corruption. They set up the National Health Insurance Scheme. They set up so many institutions, UBE, to tackle the issue of primary school. They set up TEFON to tackle the issue of tertiary education. These are people who shaped Nigeria, positioned it to take off, and Nigeria now took off. By 2015, when Jonathan left the country, Nigeria was the largest economy in Africa with over $500 billion. What has happened? It has been derailed. All have been derailed. So the history we face in Nigeria is who can reshape these reforms? Who can put it back in line to move the country the way it was arranged? I will give you an example. You heard about Malaysia, that they come here to collect some palm fruit, some palm seedlings, went to Malaysia today. Malaysia is the highest producer of palm oil. Who did it? There was a president. What is this? I forgot his name. Somebody can recall his name. Yes. Now, this man changed Malaysia and they pushed him away. After about 5 years, I think 10 years, Malaysia economy everything the man put in place was collapsing. There was massive protest across Malaysia. They went to him. When the man was already 90 years old, they said, Baba, no, you come and continue what you started. They are spoiling your work. And bungled him back. Because he's the reformist. It's part of his blood. He came back. Malaysia is back on track. 3 months ago, President Lula of Brazil was also kicked out. They jailed him. They do everything. There is no persecution, but the people realized that it was President Lula that had put Brazil on the path of growth. Brazil made their own aircraft. The first aircraft River State government bought was from Brazil. Brazil was now like one among the biggest industrialized nations in the world. When he left, they have derailed everything. The Brazilians voted him back. Come and reform what you started. So, where are we now? Atiku. He did all this. And so the question now is, let's do as our civilized brothers in Brazil, in Malaysia have done. Let's bring back Atiku to come and continue what is. If you check the campaign of Atiku, the Niger Delta have received a boom. Atiku have pronounced to the national business community in Abuja that as soon as he resumed as president come 29 May 2023, that the Ministry of Niger Delta is going to be located here. PDP! So the Minister of Niger Delta, the NDDC Managing Director, who he supervised, they will all be in that building. So if you want to protest against NDDC, don't go to Abuja, go to their building. He wants it to look like what Abuja was. He said it that day, that when Abuja was created, when Abuja was launched, if the Ministry of Federal Capital Territory was left in Dodan Barak, was left in Lagos, Abuja would not have taken off. So in practical solution to the problem, the Ministry of the Federal Capital Territory was sited somewhere in Lokoja, Suleja, before they went to where they started in Area 1. That was the only building in Abuja. But see how they accelerated and built Abuja. So it is the conviction of our presidential candidate that the first solution to the Niger Delta problem is to site the Niger Delta Ministry here in the Niger Delta, so that they will do to the Niger Delta what the FCT did to Abuja. That is a story. That is one thing that we should take seriously. And then again, the Ministry of Petroleum, he have said it, that NNPC will be restructured in a way that everybody, community leaders, community businessmen in the Niger Delta will have shares in NNPC, so they will be shareholders in NNPC. And that is the only way to hold NNPC accountable to the people of the oil producing community. So that is also a boom. So we have a candidate that is ready to transform Nigeria. That is why we are convinced that we are on the path of righteousness. Because the Bible says when the righteous rule, the people rejoice. This man is detribalized, half white from Yoruba, half white from Igbo. He half white. So his family, he has a family that is completely Nigerian. This man, medical doctor, is an Igbo man that have been with him for 25 years. His cook is an Igbo man that have been with him for 29 years, almost 30 years. And when you have those people who bear your life, you can see that he is completely detribalized. So we are on the right track to sell a product that is good. He is very, very healthy. He still take a long walk and dance. He can still dance any music. It is not Emi Oloku. Completely. The other people lie. So thank you very much for this brief introduction, and we want to tell you about our candidate. The other thing we want to talk about is security year. PDP was introduced in this state in 1998, and seated here, the former national chairman was the key foundation figure of the PDP in Rivers State in 1998. He brought a lot of us on board. I came on board. We all came on board. And that is why we call him here the total chair. Total. So his face is synonymous with PDP. If you see his face, you have seen PDP. So anything that damaged his face have damaged PDP. Because if his face is one kind, it doesn't look like him again, then the face of PDP also is not looking good again. Yes, now, from 1998 till date, this state have consistently remained PDP. We have done so many elections. We have produced Governor Odili, we have produced Governor Omeya, we produced Governor Amechi, we produced Governor Wike, and we have consistently been doing that peacefully. None of our election has been violent. None of our campaign has been violent. The violence we saw was in 2015, 2019, when we have the federal government develop more interest to take over Rivers State than Rivers people, and it was resisted by Rivers people. And so we are traditionally PDP. And now, again, campaign have started. We have gone through all the primaries up to the presidential and have produced 51 candidates in Rivers. We have 32 House of Assembly candidates. 32. We have 32 House of Assembly candidates. We have 13 House of Representative candidates. We have 3 senators. We have 1 governorship candidate, and we have 1 presidential candidate. If you calculate, it's 51. Our party has been structured in a way that even people who are aggrieved after the primaries, as we step into a campaign, we always dissolve our differences. What anybody could have done was to go to court, but we have a situation where it has been so peaceful. And so, supporting all the 51 candidates have never been anything that any candidate need to go and lean before you. No, we don't do it. That become a personality cult. We don't do that. All of you agree with me that we have always won because we agree that when primary is finished, it is finished. We go into election as one party. That is the same thing we preach now. That is the same thing we are doing now. We don't have any different negotiation to who to vote for as president. We have Atiku Abubakar as the presidential candidate with his running mate. We have the governorship candidate. We have the House. We have the Senate. So we are voting 5/5. That is the purpose of this council. Any party member who is aggrieved for one reason or the other, there are laid down procedures within the party for every member to either protest or show, disagreement, but there are laid down procedures to resolve all those things within the party. The PDP have come to stay, and so it is the oldest political party in Nigeria right now. And the PDP also have the only party that have a democratic institute where we teach democracy, where we teach leadership, where we teach governance. So that is the cap of it. And then again, you can see so many issues of insecurity bringing up here. Thuggery, violence does not serve anybody any good. This is the 21st century, where you look at the TV, you look at Obama, speak very good English, convince the Americans, and become the first black man to be president of the United States. Look at UK now. Sunak, the first Asian man to become the Prime Minister of the UK. Of the state that attack on our members is not in our character. Any issue that bring up is always good to negotiate, dissolve it, and solve it. We're calling on the police, the National Security Advisor, the IG, the Director of SSS to step up surveillance on this state. We want peace.
People, registered voters in Rivers State, across party, should vote for Atiku for president. All PDP members have an obligation to vote for Atiku for president. So, and they must vote their party. But they should be happy that other parties, people in other parties, are falling over themselves, asking to support Atiku for president. So it is not, there is no, in PDP there is no faction. There is no faction.
Well, if I take your question, everybody to vote for all candidates of PDP, we don't have a divided party. So that if you listen to me, you will not have asked these questions, because we say 5/5. So if you don't define 5/5, there is no dictionary where they write 5/5.
Okay, I think I have a question. I was in a church service yesterday, while particularly, let me mention, the governor of Rivers State said that you people are crying foul because you don't have the capacity to market your candidate. And then most of you are on the other side.
I will answer your question head on. We are very, very good party loyalists. If we were denied tickets to be governors and we are still pushing the party with all our strength, with our tears, then we are party loyalists. Yes. So what of he who lost what of he who is doing otherwise because of the same party primary? So we are party loyalists. And that is why we are also saying that as wounded as we were, yes, it's true. We all expected to be governor, but we were not made governor. But have we left the party? No. Have we put the umbrella? No. That is what makes the difference.